So hello, welcome to the channel, welcome to another Assetto Corsa Competizione video. In today's video we're going to be looking at the traction control, something the guy mentioned just this morning on one of my on my YouTube channel videos. I will put a link, or I'll put a little image on the video to show you the question that he asked, and we're going to look at the traction control and what it actually does in this video. I did try filming this video earlier, but I really am having problems capturing anything from my Xbox on Xbox. So this is the first time I'm trying to capture actually doing it through PC, linking my PC and my Xbox. So I've got no idea how this is going to turn out. So let's go into the setup. I'll load the setup that I'm going to use for this session, just because I've adjusted the tyre pressures. And we're going to max out the traction control. No one really uses TC2. It used to be a thing when the game first came out, but since, I can't even remember, it's been a long time since TC2 was useful. So for now I would just say forget it. It doesn't really benefit you in any way, shape or form. Just focus on using TC1. Some cars don't even have TC2, so just focus on TC1. Got 30 litres of fuel so we can run a few laps, and this is the setup that I'm using. I did mention as well to another guy that I'm speaking to with regards to the dampers in ACC on console. Obviously we don't have the luxury of using Motec, but I have ran hours and hours and hours of Motec testing to try and get the dampers dialed in, and in all honesty it's time absolutely wasted, because running the meta setup gives you almost a perfect trace on how the dampers should look, and fine adjustments here and there. As soon as you adjust anything on the car, say you change the front suspension by one click, that ruins the dampers completely. Everything that you've spent hours adjusting. So if you just keep it in the meta setup, adjusting other things around it really doesn't make a massive difference to the dampers. So that's the setup that I'm going to run. Let's go and set a lap. I'll skip the out lap. In fact, I'll show you on the out lap, because there are things to look at on the out lap. It'll give you an idea just how much the car is stopping me from accelerating. So almost a flat exit to the pit lane, and the car really almost didn't put me in the wall. So obviously on the braking phases, that's all about skill into the corner. Second gear, flat to the floor. So you can see just what's happening. The car is stopping me from accelerating. Whenever it feels the car's going to step out of line, fully flat to the floor, it's stopping you from accelerating. I bring up the MFD. Foot flat to the floor, and it just doesn't want to let you accelerate. You can see in the bottom right hand corner when the acceleration pedal is green, we've got traction. When we haven't, we've got this yellow. So as soon as we're straight, it delivers the power. You don't even really need to try very hard, because it almost guides you. I wouldn't say it guides you, but it stops you getting things wrong, put it that way. You've just got to keep it on the circuit. So we're going to set a very mundane lap here, just to show you the kind of lap times that are very easy to set. You could probably just do this even with a standard setup. Doesn't need to be running anything special. Try and get into 6th gear before going through a ruse. And I can't get into 6th gear before a rouge. All the way up to 250. Braking at this curb, or just before it, milliseconds before it. Down to 2nd gear, hug this inside curb. Car's always very squirmy around this corner. Braking at the curb, down to 2nd gear, really try and hug this apex. Get on the power nice and early. Out to the curb, into 3rd gear. Try not to clip too much of that inside curb. Just dropping down to 4th gear. On the power. See it, you can hear it just limiting the acceleration. Braking at the curb, down to 2nd gear, back on the power. No power's being delivered at all. My foot is flat to the floor. Down to 2nd gear, full on the power. Really easy to get through there. See, I'm just running slightly open rear brake ducts just to try and keep the rear tyres nice and cool. Just letting the car freewheel and accelerating across the line. So let's go for 2 nut drops down then on the traction control. Watch the delta, look at the difference in the acceleration off that corner. Into 6th gear, running wide though. Just didn't get the right line. We're going to have to do another lap. But you can see we're already gained a full second. Not quite got enough acceleration to get the car to rotate through that corner under power. Rear of the car just stepping out while I'm off the throttle. Just need to bring the car over to the right hand side there much quicker. But look how much we've gained just from changing that traction control. So these are normal lap times that you would see in lobbies, I think, 220. Pretty easy. Jake getting very busy. So 219, mid 219. Try and do another lap so it sticks. Much better exit. Nearly a second by the time we hit our roos. Nearly a second and a half. Over a second and a half. Just focusing on setting a good lap. We'll drop it down to TC7 on the next run. So already at 2:18.2. So the increments are going to get a lot smaller now. You're not always going to find that amount of difference. There's subtle differences. You might well find TC7 is the best thing for you. Just not getting down there. Just picked up a little bit too much curb. And again, just having to hesitate, just not got the rotation. So another 2/10 just from changing the traction control. Let's go again. Let's do 6. It really is just lap after lap, try what you can. Try and find what works for you, what gives you the confidence to get your foot down on the accelerator quickly. Because the more you start dropping down, the harder you'll find it, the more you're having to feather the throttle. Obviously we are losing fuel actually getting a bit sideways. Not the best through there. Made it up on the exit. Just gonna run wide. So I'll drop the TC again. TC5. Definitely have to start to think more about managing throttle inputs. Not a huge difference so far in acceleration. A lot of sliding around there. Much better entry. Gonna get one more lap. Let's try down to 3. So again, very subtle differences in the delta. I've definitely been more careful on my throttle application. Just needed a little lift there. So we're not going to get another lap. Not without running the hell out lap again. So very similar. I think 3, 5 and 6, very similar, but you're always having to think about your throttle application as well. So definitely, I do love this as well, the introduction of being able to skip laps in the replay. But yeah, I did spend quite a bit of time. I downloaded a setup from Coach Dave, probably the first setup I've ever used. Wasn't particularly interested in the setup, and I don't think the setup really worked for me. It was the setup on the Nordschleife, the 24-hour full ring. But the best thing it did show me is, even though the professional driver was using TC0 in the Delta trace, I'll try and put a little snippet of it on the screen, maybe from one of my other videos in this one. But the acceleration was still just as good using TC5, TC6 on the exit. So don't think that just because someone's running TC0 that they've got a massive advantage. We're talking tenths of a second over a lap sometimes. It all depends on the exit from the corner, the braking into the corner. The biggest thing I noticed that he was later, or he was earlier on the brake than me, which was predominant throughout the whole lap. I was always later on the brake. So he was always earlier on the power. He got the rotation done earlier in the corner and was earlier on the power out. So a lot of things that I thought were more beneficial for me from the setup, watching the Delta from the other driver in Motec and being able to match that. That was the main outcome from a Coach Dave setup for me. But yeah, hopefully you enjoy the setup within this video. I hope it's useful with regards to traction control and the difference that it does make. And it all really does come down to driver skill. The lower you lower that traction control, the more demands it puts on the driver's skill. But you can just plant your foot at, say, TC9 and still be setting 2 minute 19 laps. We've just proved that. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Until next time, if you've got any questions, please put them in the comments. Hit that like and subscribe button. And as always, ciao for now.